Oh, hello everyone. It's Crypto Granny here, Susie. Today is a Sunday. The date is the 8th of September 2024, and the time in Europe is 16:40 p.m. I hope you're all well, looking after yourself, looking after your family, your beautiful partners, your wives, your husbands, beautiful children, and your beautiful animals, and even other animals and stray animals, just to make this place a better world. Now, there's been so much going on in markets. It is crazy. I have to apologize, John. I couldn't make your meeting on Friday night. Much apologies. The equity markets were insane on Friday night, and I was trading, and I did make some money. And we're just seeing the equity markets getting absolutely smashed. Okay, and there's so much negativity out there this week about pretty much the US economy being absolutely stuffed, and there's no growth in the system whatsoever. People are calling now depression. I agree with that. I've said that for some time. I do believe the Fed should be doing an intra-meeting rate cut. Things are terrible, right? And they should be cutting rates, in my opinion, by 50 basis points at least. We've got a situation where debt in the US is escalating, and it's the public debt that we look at, which is like 35 trillion. But it's not only that, we're talking about private debt, which is the US consumer, and that's something like about 120 trillion. People are getting longer on their credit cards, they're borrowing more money, they're now falling behind on their house repayments. The property market in the US is coming down. I spoke to a client of mine in the US who's a property manager, and what she said was just terrible. The market, there's a lot of properties for sale. The properties are very expensive, and the market is ready to come down quite heavily. And we see that in other countries like Australia. Like I said, I sold my property in Australia 2 years ago, and now I can buy that property or similar property for about 300,000 or 400,000 lower. People are geared up to the max, unfortunately. We're seeing bankruptcies rise. We're seeing mortgages being delayed because people don't have the money. We're seeing it in consumer spending and everything, right? And we have hyperinflation in the system. We do not have inflation at 2%. It's garbology. What? I pay $100 for something today. Last year, a year ago, $100, and it's only supposed to be 102 this year. It's garbology. More like, I paid $100 2 years ago, and it's $250 this year, right? I mean, inflation is triple digits, literally, I believe. And, they're not going to be able to stop it, right? And on that, the Fed has continually rate rise. It's killing people. People can't pay their interest expense or their mortgage anymore. We're seeing it in Australia as well. They rate hiked 14 times. It's insane, right? Insane. And we're talking about, the US having an off-balance sheet debt of something like over 100 trillion, an on-balance sheet debt of 36 trillion. Their GDP is only worth 30 trillion. It's a shocker, right? And 1.6% is extremely wealthy, which is only 5.8 trillion. And even if you want to tax the wealthy, right, it's only 5.8 trillion out of a total US debt, public and private, of 140 trillion and getting higher. The Fed is behind the curve. They should have been cutting rates dramatically. One of their main mandates in financial markets is to keep financial market stability. But trading the US equity markets, you see how vulnerable that market is. It's priced still for perfection. Every fund manager is long. I can't believe it. Long and wrong. It's so concentrated when we look at the NASDAQ index to what people are buying, NVIDIA and all the high tech stocks, and their PEs are like, 200 times forward earnings. This market, the US equity market, is going to collapse, right? And the question is, what is crypto going to do? And I will talk about crypto, but I just want to go through some of the important economic factors first, because it's important, right? It's all related. The economic fundamentals, whether you believe them or not, and half the time I don't, essentially feed into interest rate decisions, whether they hike or whether they cut. Now, the point is the economic data coming through is garbology. We've already seen the US allegedly had a strong labor force, right? Market, lots of people getting employed. It's garbology, right? All of a sudden they lost 1 million jobs, right? All of a sudden, and we're seeing it here with the US job openings. You know, it's down and getting lower, right? We're seeing it with, you know, employment claims every week still going up, right? More and more people are losing their jobs. There's more and more layoffs because the US doesn't create anything. Manufacturing is dead. It's a service-based economy, but they're not creating anything. And then coupled with that, we have political risk in the US. Whoever gets in, there is massive political risk. You know, if Mr. Trump gets in, because he's Republican, allegedly, it could go more, allegedly, far right, where the US people lose their potential, their democracy, right? So we're talking major events in markets that, you know, seriously, the US equity market looks terrible. Now, I've told my clients for a while, do not be in US equities. Coupled with that, we've got US dollar against the yen in free fall, right? You know, that thing was 143 or something on Friday night. I was selling US against the yen. It looks like it can go through the big figure down to 100 or less, right? You don't want to be in US dollars. The rest of the world, China and Russia, are selling US dollars. And with that, the equity market, US dollar equities, US dollar, you don't want to be buying US dollar equities because you've now got currency exposure and the US dollar is getting smashed as we speak. And on Monday, it's going to get further smashed. It's a one-way trade. I've never seen anything like it. The opportunities are almost easy. Sell US dollars and sell the US equity market. The NASDAQ particularly is priced to perfection, and so is the Dow. And it's the most expensive market I've ever seen, right? Now, I've been listening to a lot of economists and Ray Dalio and many others, Warren Buffett, and it, you know, they're all so bearish. Michael Berry, who's one of the best traders in the world, who got the '08 crash, has been short the US market for 9 months. Now, when that guy goes short and buys puts, you got to wake up, people, because he's always right, that guy. He's one of the best traders in the world. Now, grab yourself a cup of coffee. I don't know how long this is going to be. I apologize not doing a podcast. I've been absolutely inundated with market stuff. You know, so much is going on. It's hard to, you know, it's incredible, right? Just because I don't send out stuff to you, my subscribers, my lovely subscribers, and thank you for supporting us. You know, we look at markets 24/7. We have to. It's unbelievable what is going on at the moment. But the opportunities are huge, people. Huge. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And I was, you know, around when the '87 crash was around, the 1990 Asian crisis, the tech crisis, 2000. They were worried about whether, you know, the systems would work after 2000. You know, I was there in 2008, 2009. But this crash is going to be something we've never seen before. It's going to be bigger than '09 in the US equity market. We've got all these young traders that just know to buy the dip in the US equity market. It ain't going to work. You got to sell any rally from here. They're going to get smashed. They don't know what volatility is like. And it ratchets up so quickly, goes up so fast, that people start liquidating all their stocks because it's an exchange where you can liquidate for cash, and margin calls, right? Intraday margin calls are dictating this market more than anything, which forces people to sell at the bottom, okay? We are, you know, the US equity market is going to fall big time. Now, I've looked at the charts technically, and it's quite frightening. I've got to tell you that. I looked at it just today, actually, not recently. But if you look at the charts technically, whoa, the Dow currently at 42.64. Looks like big support is 42.31. And then a larger support level is 40,000, and I've got the Dow getting down to at least 38,702 or lower. That's a massive move. We're talking, more than 2,000 points on the index or more down. The NASDAQ, again, support, at the moment is at 18,275. This thing could go down over 1,000 points and more, right? The S&P 500, currently at 5,395. I'm calling it down to 5,000. We're talking 400 points on the S&P 500 here. And with that, the US dollar could very quickly, within a week, be at 110 to the yen, okay? We're talking massive moves here, people. And, again, what's going to happen to crypto? I'll talk about that in a sec. So just give me a sec. Grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's resume our talk today, okay? And apologies for not bringing out an earlier podcast, but I've been inundated with clients. I've been massively busy, but it's all good. And we're loving what we do. We love what we do. I love the market so much. I absolutely love it. So we've got a situation where many people are coming out and calling it absolute depression, and it is a depression with hyperinflation, absolutely. And, I was watching something with Warren Buffett, and it was absolutely fascinating. And he came up with a list of companies that were in existence in the 80s, that were the high of the indices, right, in terms of, the S&P and the NASDAQ and that. And the companies that were in that industry, or the major big companies that were global stock pickers at that time, were all the Japanese banks and a couple of American companies that may have been in pharmaceuticals or automobiles. That list now, obviously, we've got a different list. And when we look at the NASDAQ, there's 5 big companies in the NASDAQ, calling, one NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, or whatever, Facebook, or whatever you want to call it, right? And he asked a very interesting question. Most people are investing in those, and everyone is long those blue chips, right? Long to the hill. And he asked an interesting question. He said, right, of these companies that people are buying with their ears pinned back, think about which companies are going to be still operational in the next 5 to 10, 15 years. And I thought that was massively interesting. My view is Apple, which is in the index, and people buy Apple. It's over for Apple, okay? It's over. Apple, if you know what's happened, they've done nothing since Steve Jobs died, unfortunately. Tim Cook, who's the caretaker of Apple, the CEO, has done nothing. They just keep bringing out the iPhone, number 12, number 15, number 16, whatever. Their market is getting less and less because many people are going off their products. And again, asking this question that Warren Buffett asked, who's a genius, basically you can look at the index and say who's going to be there and who's not, 5 or 10 or 15-year view. Apple will not be there. NVIDIA will be there because they're an AI and chips, that's obvious. But, Facebook, will Facebook be there? Meta in 15 years? Maybe not. I don't like Facebook. Again, this market is primed for the biggest downturn. And don't forget, the equity market was fueled by the baby boomers who are retiring now, massively retiring. They don't want to take on risk in the market. The younger generations don't have any money. And don't forget, while the baby boomers and the older generation were growing up in the 50s and 60s and 70s, there was a mega boom in the US economy. The growth was mega, with low interest rates after the war, blah, blah, blah. We do not see that now. And there's a massive structural change. And that structural change, the banking system, the money supply system, the central banks, it broke in 2008 and 2009, right? And we've had a bubble in the US equity markets ever since. Now, in 2008, I was in the market in 2009, the equity market went lower and lower. Stocks went broke. 90% of the stock market, according to me trading in Australia, in US stocks and Australian stocks, some of these stocks were off 90%, and it took them years and years and years to recover. One thing about the stock market, it takes a long time to recover. And if you're old, you don't have time for the stock market to recover, right? You just don't, because you'll be dead before it actually recovers, right? But what we've seen since 2009 is a glut of debt. The Fed has propped up the market continually by buying, and expanding its huge balance sheet of assets, right? Being the biggest trader in the market. Plus, they were cutting interest rates to zero and negative. We saw bonds having negative return, where people had to pay the bank to put money in the bank. Some people bought bonds, 100-year bonds, with no coupon and a negative return, and these were long-term pension funds. The market is a disaster, people. I got to tell you that, a disaster. And, we're in this position now where there's so many young traders that do not know how to short the market. All they know is to buy the dip. And that is the worst strategy you can perform, right? This market is a sell the rally market, just the sort of market I love. Anyway, last week, the Bank of Canada, rightly so, cut interest rates and also said we're probably going to cut more. The Fed should be cutting interest rates with a targeted cash rate of 5.25 to 5.5. It is way too high. The US mortgage payer suffers when the mortgage rate, the 30-year mortgage rate, is over 7%. It is still over 7%. One stage it got well over 8%. No one can afford their mortgage, right? It's as simple as that. And there's no equity in their house, right? So you see where the assets are going to go, what asset markets are going to come down. Sell houses, sell equity, buy commodities, buy crypto. You got the picture here. But anyway, the Bank of Canada rate cut, and rightly so, 4.25. US job openings, the job report was very bad. They've lost 1 million jobs. Factory orders were terrible. US durable goods revised, shocking, negative, and allegedly US durable goods at 9.8%, which I don't believe for a minute. I've got to tell you that the data, the economic data coming out of the statisticians and the central banks is garbology, okay? What else have we got on the slide? Not only that, we had some other data come out. Chinese PMI was at 51, terrible. You look at the whole world, it's the same, right? Everyone is in negative growth, A PMI under 50 is negative and recessionary / depression, right? When I looked at Bitcoin at this time, this is 24-hour, it was at 56,611. It's currently at 54,000. We'll have a look at that as well in a bit more detail. But I don't think Bitcoin's going to go lower than 52,000. There's a lot of people that need to buy Bitcoin. I don't believe it's going to go too low. Oh, did I show you this already? Maybe I have. But anyway, so let's go to the crypto market. I've done so many videos for you guys, but I just hadn't had the time to get it out, seriously. So if this is the wrong one, I'm sorry, but we'll just have to go with it. Bear with me for a minute, and I'll show you the cryptocurrency market. Let's talk about that specifically. Now let's have a look at live coin watch. And as you can see, the cryptocurrency market is extremely cheap at 1.941 trillion. Very, very cheap. Volume is lower at 38, 30 and 39 bill. Liquidity is very good. Well, no, sorry, it's less, I should say, at 5.59 bill, but it's still pretty good. High liquidity is around 6.5. Low liquidity is when it's below 2, okay? We see Bitcoin dominance is starting to wane at 55.25, which means they're starting to buy altcoins, which is good. I don't like XRP, and there's a lot of reasons why. I'll tell you the story. Again, it's down 1.53, looks like it's going lower. Ethereum's being smashed, and rightly so, 13.81%, dropped below 14%, looks terrible. It's overpriced, again, overpriced. Tron dominance looks very good, going higher, 0.68. Link dominance is going higher, much higher. I believe it should be around 3% like Solana at 0.32. Solana dominance is 3% going higher, and BCH we're still waiting for, and dominance is 0.3, but I believe it will move up because there's no Bitcoin left, and we're seeing disparities on the pricing of exchanges. And don't forget, as I said before, the ETFs, you know, they need to buy $23 billion of Bitcoin, and there's no supply. You don't need to be a rocket scientist, people. Seriously. I hope you can see this. Did I share this? Yeah, I did. Thank God. Okay, so we've got Bitcoin at 54,309, and it's killing Ethereum, okay? Every week, Ethereum is underperforming Bitcoin. Ethereum looks technically very bad. It's currently at 2272. Big level of support was 2,400 on Ethereum. It's going much lower, people. This will not be number 2, okay? Number 2 in the market cap. Ethereum will be out of the top 10. I'm telling you that, right? I don't like it, and there's many reasons, and I'll tell you. I mean, there's a lot of negativity about Ethereum. It hasn't grown in terms of accounts. It hasn't grown in terms of revenue. Its revenue's lower. All the big sellers that were long Ethereum are now, selling Ethereum. Not only that, Van Eyck established an Ethereum ETF. They shut it down because there's no demand for Ethereum, okay? Also, people are worried about the staking. It's highly concentrated with 2 main stakers. All they have to do with Ethereum is reduce their staking rates, which they are, and, you know, you're going to see people get out of Ethereum, the staking that's on Ethereum, right? It's a disaster ready to happen. I'm not a believer in Ethereum. I've never liked it, and it's so overpriced, is a joke. Comparing to, say, a Binance, which is a meganaut and making so much revenue compared to Ethereum, and yet Ethereum's at this level. Compare it to a Tron. Tron is making 5 to 10 million a day, and the coin is still at 15 cents. And the network is better than Ethereum. They have 200 million clients, growing all the time. And Tron, Mr. Sun, has made a fortune out of issuing meme tokens on the Tron platform, right? Sometimes I feel the market is quite xenophobic or racist towards Justin Sun because he's Chinese. But the guy, you know, you got to remember, Tron was on Ethereum in 2018. And, you know, they said at the time, Mr. Sun said, Ethereum's so bad, it's costing us a fortune. It's a crap system. You know, it does transactions per second of 12 if it's lucky, or if it's not too busy. You know, it's garbology, right? Tron can do transactions per second of 5,000. It can do NFTs. It can do DeFi. It can do memes. I mean, really, you know, Ethereum is gone. And if you're holding Ethereum and you're one of my subscribers, I've been telling you for years at verbatim, get out of Ethereum. It's a joke. It's overpriced, and it will not be in the top 10 within 12 months, okay? And, you know, the Van Eyck closing down the ETF for Ethereum is very, very telling. They did not get the demand from retail clients, okay? Or wholesale clients, right? Now, BNB is incredible. It's the biggest exchange in the world, making billions. Debt-free, and yet it's still at $501. I mean, this thing should be, BNB should be $3,500 and second on this market cap, okay? It's as simple as that. Solana, a meganaut, doing all the right things. It is a killer of Ethereum, and it shouldn't be fifth. XRP, I'm incredibly negative XRP, and I'll tell you why. So please listen carefully. Crypto Ninja, please listen carefully. Many people are wedded to XRP. It's like a bad marriage. The world has changed in 5 years, people, and XRP has missed the plot, okay? Missed the plot. Now, many people are still long XRP, and they're long and they're wrong. XRP really had a big advantage 5 years ago, because they were the only cryptocurrency technology at the time that could make cross-border payments for less than a cent in fees, okay? But the world has changed since then with AI and everything else, right? Also, the SEC is not letting go of XRP. Even though allegedly it's a $125 million fine, Ripple is still fighting the SEC. And now on accounts, it looks like it's going to be another year or something before that SEC thing is resolved, right? And it's just, you know, it's a heavy, how can I say, a heavy hammer over XRP's price from going up. Not only that, XRP every month issues $1 billion into the market every month, right, from their escrow. And it just creates more supply, killing the price of the coin. Given the SEC, looking at it objectively, given the SEC is doing what they're doing, the whales are starting to sell XRP, people are getting frustrated. You know, it's just a marriage that's not working. And unfortunately, you have this XRP cult that thinks they're going to make $1 million out of XRP if you hold, you know, 10,000 of them or something, dollars worth. And it ain't going to happen, people. It ain't going to happen. The world has changed. Now we have other mainnets and competitors, whether it be Binance, Solana, Chainlink, Tron, AVAX, the list goes on. Chainlink, of course, you know, that can do more than XRP, not only NFTs, DeFi, ICOs, all sorts of things, right? XRP has had it. It didn't update its technology. It's gone. Even when you ring them, you don't get, you know, they don't come back to you. You know, the emails I've sent them because I wanted to use their system or, you know, rang, and I never got a call or anything, right? It's over. Tron is a killer of XRP. They're in the right market. They saw the future. They're there. They're minting, you know, tokens. They're issuing tokens, which are doing incredibly well. They do NFTs. They're into DeFi. They're into decentralization, right? All that stuff. XRP has missed the boat, okay? It's as simple as that. It's missed the boat, unfortunately. And I'm not wedded to XRP anymore. I'm an investor that wants to make money. If I stay in XRP, I will continue to lose money. And I don't like losing money. It's as simple as that. You know, what Tron's doing is incredible. And the coin should not be at 15 friggin' cents. The network is more profitable than anything. They're making so much money, debt-free. And the problem with the crypto market is people do not look at forward earnings, right? Like the equity market. Bitcoin, the network is making $3 million on average a day or higher. Multiply that by 365 days in a year, which is the Australian day count. The American day count is 360. And you've got, you know, billions debt-free, right? And, you know, I hear people on the video, some dickhead, Mr. Schiff or someone, and he says, oh, Bitcoin, he still says, oh, Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. It's got nothing, there's nothing to it. He doesn't know anything about the network of Bitcoin, which is totally decentralized. And the network makes over $3 million a day in fees. I mean, it's insane with no debt. You know, some of these people, you know, I can't stand it when people don't know anything and yet they make out there's some professional on crypto and they haven't got a friggin' clue. I don't know anything about cars or being a mechanic. So I don't talk about cars and mechanics because I'm not a professional, right? I don't know anything about cooking. Oh, I do like cooking, but you know, you get my gist here, right? Seriously, people are just stupid and dumb, and that's why they don't make money, right? It's as simple as that. I mean, even Dodge is a better bet. than XRP because Elon Musk is X. He'll use Dodge as a payment system, right? Where he monetizes it, he makes money out of it. If he gets into the government of the US with Mr. Trump, you're basically betting, on Elon Musk and Mr. Trump through Dodge, right? Or Mr. Trump's NFTs. It's a no-brainer, people. Really, it's a no-brainer. Let's talk about ADA. It's done. I hate ADA. They have not put on any clients for years. Clients that pay money to them. How does a network make money? From clients. That is the value of the network. How decentralized is it? The technology is valuable, but if you don't put on clients, and every time you bring out a memo token on ADA, it does nothing and it fails. And then you have a developer language like Haskell for Cardano, where not many developers understand it. And according to Lizzie, it's very technical, academic coding language. Then it's insane, right? Insane. I mean, the other mainnets like Tron, it's easy to mint, right? Because you don't need developer coding or anything. It's easy to set up a game. I mean, these mainnets have superseded the old crypto technology like XRP and ADA and Ethereum. And, if you're long any of those or invested in any of those, you are wrong. You are not my client because you're not listening to me. It's as simple as that, right? Toncoin. What a joke, man. $4.75. It's Telegram. The guy, Mr. Durav, the founder of, and the CEO or whatever of Telegram, has been arrested for illicit activities, like seriously illicit activities. And yet, Ton is still at $4.75. Make sense of that. It's the biggest sell in history. The CEO has been arrested for illicit, activities, drugs, whatever, prostitution, everything, apparently, allegedly, and seriously, I mean, this market is stupid. Avalanche, an amazing story, incredible story, right? Could be another Chainlink. And look where Chainlink is. They're getting 3 clients a day, Chainlink. Swift, their largest client, all the banks are using them. There's a 10 million coins and tokens that need pricing oracles, and they need to use Chainlink's technology for those pricing oracles. Chainlink stands alone. There's only one small competitor called Pipe, but Chainlink is the one for our core blue chip cryptocurrency portfolio. And it's only at $10 and it's more profitable than ever. I mean, it doesn't make sense. BCH, $2.99, what a gift. There's no supply and it has the same network as Bitcoin, but it's faster. Third income. I mean, the crypto market with its valuations is nuts, absolutely nuts, because it's still immature, right? But we're professionals, and we've been in the market for 40 years, 42 years. We know where there's value, and these coins, I'm telling you, are so cheap. It's a gift, people. It's a gift of a lifetime. The opportunities in this financial market and crypto market now, I've never seen anything like it. I am seriously, seriously excited. Honestly, it's incredible, right? The opportunities in this market, these financial markets, is incredible.